everyone, you're welcome to Mindset Revamp 8.0. And if you're online, if you're watching me, please do well to drop your name, where you're joining in from. It'd be nice to meet you. You're welcome to Mindset Revamp 8.0. And I'm super excited to be doing this. I'm so glad to be doing this, and I know how glad you must be right now wherever you are, that finally Mindset Revamp 8.0 is here, and I'm excited. I'm anticipating and expectant to learn and relearn some mindset ceilings, mindset facts, and mindset revamp about the issue of money. So good evening, everybody. Good evening once again. If you're joining me live, if you're watching live, do well to please drop your name and perhaps where you're joining in from, your location. I'll be waiting at the comment section to welcome you. So we'll be starting in about 2 minutes time, and we'll be starting we are starting right about now. So as you're joining in, do well to just drop your name and where you are joining in from. Our guest is waiting. She's had it, and she's super pumped up, super ready to be doing this. Like, she's ready. We spoke this afternoon, and she was just so eager. Annette is so eager to pour out our hearts about money. And okay, before I talk about Annette, please just drop your name and wherever you are joining in from. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. I believe you had a great day. I believe you had an awesome Tuesday. I believe work went well, your business is going well, and you had just a very fantastic day. If you're just entering in, I think you maybe before you take a good shower, you should be on this live. You should be on this live. You should learn, and as you are taking your good shower later in the night, just think and ponder on everything you learned in this live session. So I'll be waiting at the comment section, and even as I wait, you're welcome to Mindset Revamp 8.0. So Mindset Revamp is an initiative of the Discovery Point Company. It started in 2020 when the Mindset Fixer, okay, which obviously me, when the Mindset Fixer started, she noticed, or better still, let me personalize it. I noticed some mindset dysfunctions and mindset malfunctions in the lives of young people, so to say, young and teenagers, basically. And Mindset Revamp was bettered. And over the years, over the course of the series, we've had Mindset Revamp on wealth creation, Mindset Revamp on leadership, Mindset Revamp on branding, business branding, and personal branding, and Mindset Revamp on journey. It has been an interesting ride with 7 editions, and the testimonials from each and every of these editions have been great. People have been transformed. The mindset of people have been transformed. They've been, should I say, they've been motivated to take a step to own their lives. And many businesses have been bettered just from Mindset Revamp series. Many personal brands have been bettered, and many people have come to realize their purpose. They have come to know how to maximize the use of their mindset, and it's just so good. It's just so good. So if you're here tonight, you're welcome. My name is Tejumoje Soluremi, and I'm fondly called the National Tejumoje and the Mindset Fixer. I help individuals overcome limiting beliefs about themselves. I help individuals see themselves, especially those who are suffering from low self-esteem. I help them, overcome this. I walk them through this low self-esteem to achieve a high self-esteem, a high purpose about themselves. I help people bet their purpose, and I help people interpret their dreams. not dreams that you dream at night, but your vision, that which keeps you awake at night, which burns in your heart, the passion that you have to change the world, so to say, around you. And it's so good to meet you. You're welcome, Olorunfemi Tobiloba. Thank you so much for joining in. You are joining in from Agbara in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you're on the call, please drop your name, where you are joining in from. It would be so wonderful to welcome you to this call. You're welcome once again. So we'll be diving in right about now, and I'll be bringing my guest. But before I bring my guest, I would love to know, what are your expectations when you saw the e-flyer, when you saw everything on the e-flyer? What came to your mind? What are your expectations from this money mindset revamp series? What are you expecting from tonight? Thank you so much. Okay, DJ Peoluwa from Abuja, thank you for joining in. So what are your expectations? What do you want to learn, or better still, what do you want to relearn or perhaps unlearn about money? What are your expectations for tonight? Please just do drop them in the comment section, and I bet you those expectations will be met, and it will be superseded. It will really, really be met. And my guest is ready. Our guest is ready to pour her heart to us. And this series basically was bettered from a place of need, from my research and from basic consultation with my clients, because I do consultations, I do coaching, group coaching, one-on-one coaching, and I have the opportunity, I've been privileged with the opportunity to learn, to hear people speak, and most of the things that have been repeated over time is this issue of money. This issue of money, maybe how to multiply money, so to say, how to handle money, how to basically, it's money, 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 money. After money, it's money. And I went on to just do some basic research, that what exactly is it about money? What is this? What is this that everybody just wants? This clamor, all clamor about money. Some people want to multiply their money, or should I say, many people want to multiply their money. They want to have more money. Some people want to, and from my research also. So, oh my God, research is actually, it's interesting, and conversing with people also, so to say, is interesting. From my research, I learned that you can have a mindset that, oh, you just want to have just enough, or you want to have enough, or you just want to have more than enough. When I discovered this, it blew my mind. Like, it legit blew my mind away. Now, what is just enough? Just enough is when you have just enough money to just meet your basic needs, meet your things you want, things you need to get, stuff you need to maybe change your wardrobe and stuff, just to meet that need. But when you have more than enough, right? When you have more than enough, you are able to meet those needs, and you are able to even meet the needs of others. And I was sitting one day, and I was just, thinking about it all, that wow, like, so you can have just enough and you can have more than enough. And it starts from the mind, because your mind is the seat of every actions and every inactions that you do. Take it or leave it. Your mind, every action. Show me a man. I wrote it in my second book. I wrote this quote in my second book. Show me the actions of a man, and tell us that he has into his mind over time. When you see what a man is doing, when I mean man here, it is general, man and woman, right? So show me what a man is doing, and I will tell you what he has been feeding his mind with over time. It is so easy. It is so easy. When you see a successful man now, right? When you see a successful man today, you know that the seeds this person has been sowing has been seeds of the consciousness of success. You see a wealthy man today, you know that this man has filled his mind, his or her mind, with wealth. Because everything you see today started from the mind. Oh, you are doing well in your business today, it started from the mind. You see a person who isn't doing well in business today, it starts from the mind. And I was in a seminar that was earlier this week. It was a webinar, and the facilitator said something that caught my attention. He said for some people, they keep saying that, oh, this land, to get a job is hard, to get a job is hard, to get a job is hard. And these people are those who are not employed. And when he said this, it went on to say that if this person hasn't gotten a job because the mind has been filled with this land, you can't get more jobs, you can't do this, you can't do that. But if this person's mind is so open and so receptive to say, oh, even if people are not getting job, I would get my job. Oh, if people are not wealthy, I will be wealthy. If people are not building houses, I would build houses. If traveling abroad, I would travel abroad. And now I'm even abroad, I would do this, I would do that. It starts from the mind. You have to be conscious of what you are thinking of. You have to think about what you are thinking of. Think about what you are thinking about. I hope I'm not confused you. You have to think about, you have to be conscious of your thoughts. Once you see yourself in the angle or in the orb of negative thoughts, you have to call yourself back. You have to call yourself back that, no, I'm not supposed to be thinking these thoughts. That's why, thank God, as believers, and if you're not a believer here, as believers, the scripture said in Romans 12 that we renew our mind constantly with the scriptures. Because the atmosphere, the world is filled with negative thoughts. If you want to think about negative things, right, from morning till night, you have the time, like you can do that. But because you are conscious that even when you think of this negative thoughts, it isn't going to move you anywhere. So why brood on negative thoughts? Why brood on, right? So that's why you must feed with positive thoughts. Feed yourself with the scriptures. Be careful of what you listen to. Be careful of who you listen to, because these affect you. It goes a long way. All right. So I'm actually looking at time, and I'll be bringing our guest right about now. She'll be joining us. Hello,
Hello.
Anete. Hi.
Hi, thank you
How are
very
you doing
much for
today?
having me here
You're
today.
welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm really,
And
really
how did your
excited
day go? You are really
to be
looking,
here.
you're really looking good and amazing.
Thank you.
You're
You too.
welcome.
All
Thank you
glammed
so
up
much.
for the live.
Oh, thank you very much, Anete. And I trust you are ready for us tonight.
I am, yes.
Thank you. So,
Whatever you want to hear, whatever you've got to ask, I'm here.
thank you, Anete.
And you've
All
done a
right, so I'll
wonderful
be introduced.
introduction.
Okay, all right. Let me introduce you. I'll be reading your bio now so that they would know so that they will know the person they are listening to. Because I've come to understand that once you know the perception of whom you are listening to, it sort of helps you listen more to the person, or maybe disengage in the listening from the person. It's something I've come to understand, Anete, and I don't know if it's same for you. Once you know what the substance this person carries, once you know, should I say, how professional this person is, it becomes so easy for you to listen to this person, or better still, it becomes so easy for you to trust this person. Am I speaking your mind? Have you ever met yourself in such situation? Once you hear about a person, and they read the bio, and you are all like, wow, this person deserves my airtime. Has they ever happened to you before, Hannah?
Sorry, you
Can
disappeared
you
last
hear me?
bit. I can, yes. It was just the last sentence.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that, have you ever um been where, okay, I bio now, right? And I wanted to know, have you ever been in a
Go for
situation
it.
where maybe you attended a program or you attended a webinar, and they read the profile of this person, and you see the works of the person, you hear the works of this person, the educational accomplishments of this person and everything. Does it help boost the way you listen to this person, so to say. Have you ever been in such
I
situation
think so,
before?
yeah.
Awesome.
I
So
think we all
I would
carry that.
exactly. So I'll be reading your bio now, and okay, would be swinging in and diving right in. Annette is an EFT practitioner who helps other spiritual business owners and entrepreneurs change their relationship with money so they can achieve the financial freedom they wish for and deserve. You know, when I saw this profile, I was like, wow, this is massive. When in fact, when I saw the spiritual business owners, the question came to mind. I was like, wow, why is it just spiritual business owners? And okay, it's a two question in one. Spiritual business owners, does it mean that that business is spiritual, or does it mean that the people in business are the ones that make business spiritual? Do you understand?
It's both. Yeah, it's both. Like,
Okay.
it's whatever perceive it as it being spiritual or having a spiritual business. Because even marketing can be spiritual. Like, I am bringing in spirituality to money, which for a lot of people might think money is dirty or something bad, or it can, cause arguments and things like that. So it is really their own person's perception what they think is spiritual. Because at the end of the
Wow.
day, if um, we don't align together, we're not going to work together, regardless if it's
Whoa.
spiritual there or not.
Whoa. Amazing. So does it mean that money is spiritual?
It can be, yes. So money is energy, it's neutral. Money can be whatever we wish it to be. So I've chosen to be the
Mm.
money is spiritual, the money is good, the money is love. And even saying that out loud, it makes me feel good.
Wow. Wow.
Well,
Okay, I think it's frozen. Can you hear me, Hannah?
something, not sure if it's me.
Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. But can you hear me?
Right, let me refresh that, see what happens. Because
Okay.
I've totally lost everyone. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly well.
Wonderful. It cut out for a little bit, so I didn't hear anything at all you just said.
Okay, okay. So we were talking about the spirituality of money.
Yeah.
How can you please shed more light on that? How spiritual is money? Because many a times the human mind just tends to think money is just a normal phenomenal or just something normal. But now you've brought a spiritual perspective to money.
Yeah.
Can you shed more light on that? How
Yeah, of
spiritual is
course.
money?
I think how spiritual is difficult to divine. We don't have a scale of spiritualness, if you will. But I don't even have words, to be honest. Because it's just that feeling that money is an innate part of us, of our soul, and vice versa. Um, in regards even to spirituality, money can be used for so much good. For example, education, and in that sense, we can say, oh, it's improving ourselves and our spirits, if you know what I mean. It can be put to a great
Yeah.
cause, um, to humanity, and that's really what I'm here for, is to um, heal that relationship, because money also is responsible to safety. Like, we associate money with safety, because if we don't have money, we won't have roof over our heads, we don't have food, we don't have clothes. And
So true.
when we are in that kind of mindset of lack and not feeling safe, it kind of really keeps us stuck in our bodies. So I just I'm here to try and shift that for people so they can actually be right, okay, money's here, money is great. And then you can enjoy that life beyond the everyday struggles.
Wow. Wow,
I
that's
hope
so
that answers
amazing.
your question.
That's so amazing. And misconceptions about money is not location based. What I mean by location based is maybe Nigeria, Italy, Germany, Dubai, or whatsoever, right? Now, so can you share some misconceptions humans have about money and how we can empower this mindset, like how we can break free from this misconception, so to say, about money?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say there are necessarily misconceptions, but rather
Okay.
learned through truths. So when we
Oh,
are as children, um, what happens about money, we learn it and see about it from what's happening around us. And the
wow.
saying comes to mind: the rich grow richer and the poor go poorer. And it is somewhat true, because when you are born in a kind of world of wealth where everything is ready available to you, you will act and behave in that way too. So you will continuously look out and create opportunities to create that wealth. But when you're in, come from a mindset where there's not enough, and you've seen your family perhaps work, maybe even on news, like news is full of it. I mean, look at I don't know if you are affected by the gas price increase and food price increase and things like that, and you just hear it everywhere. The good thing about such thoughts, as I say, like learned beliefs, is that we can unlearn them. So the very first step would be actually become aware of what you are thinking about money. And you already touched upon at the introduction about introducing the positive thoughts. But there's a very, very common misconception in the kind of development that, oh, if we think something bad, we need to suppress it. We need to go, no, we can't think that. We're going to check all the bad stuff. We need to think about good things. Now, what happens is stays there. So first, we need to become aware of it, what's there. And two, we need to really, accept it. That is how we feel, and give a voice to what we are aware of and what's happening. And that is really just kind of it's a way of looking after yourself and acknowledging,
Wow.
yes, this is how I'm feeling. But then when you are that awareness, you also realize that power that you have, because then you can change that, and you can actually choose to change the way you see things, money, like the way you view it and the way you feel about it. But the very first thing overcoming that is that awareness and giving a voice and seeing what is like the programs, if you will, you're running on, like, oh, there's never enough money, I'm struggling to pay my bills, all those, that inner self money talk, and be like, right, what if it's not true? And just try and open it up to the possibility that maybe it's not true, that it's not mine, and that can be something different. And that alone will
Wow.
create that snowball effect, because it is difficult to go from, oh, I don't have money, I'm struggling for money, to, oh, I'm gonna have $1 million business. it's a
Mm,
it's a
wow.
journey, and even the smallest relief can change that. It is about tiny habits. It's about putting the food on a table and be like, yes, I have money to buy food. Like, starting with the smallest things. And that is that way of shifting, really, in short,
Wow.
in very short.
Whoa. Wow. So you mentioned something about tiny habits. What are the tiny
Yeah.
habits we can develop in our finances, right? What are those tiny habits? Is it savings? Is it investments? Or because that's the time?
You disappeared somewhere. I'm gonna let you come back just to make sure I got all of the question.
Kind of people.
I'm gonna take a wee drink.
Hello, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back.
All right,
I
sorry, the
think I
network
got the
went for a
start of the
while.
question, but if you
All
don't
right,
mind
yeah.
just repeating that for me.
All right. So I was saying, what are the tiny habits you can have about our finances? Because I know that what would come to the minds of people about the tiny habits for finances is savings. Like, okay, maybe when I save for the rainy days, I will be able to fall back to it later or something like that. What are those tiny habits that we can develop in the area of our finances, in the area of our money? What are those tiny habits, so to say?
So you just said something, oh, what about savings for a rainy day? And this is you're making a perception that there's going to be a rainy day, that something is going to happen for you to have the savings.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from? So you're effectively, oh, something is going to happen, that's going to cost me money, so I need to set aside some money for it.
Ooh, whoa, I get that. Wow.
So
Okay.
So when you want to save, which is perfectly fine, that could be one of your tiny habits. So there isn't right or wrong way. It's just really taking and listening into yourself. If you want to save it for something that you actually wish to have in your life. So, maybe for a holiday, for a house, or things like that. And as you save it, you actually get excited about already, as if you would have that thing really, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna get. So that money has purpose, rather than kind of sitting back. In regards to investments, what you mentioned, I would advise against investing unless you have a healthy relationship with money, because we become emotionally attached to it. And I have heard this because I've been on like stocks trading training before, and the lady was like, look, you just stick to principle, whatever you come up with, your strategy, and you stick with it. You don't get greedy. So
Wow.
if you do go that route, you need to create a sense of detachment to money and be like, yeah, that's fine, I'm going to do that, and without being, as I say, emotionally invested. But more from really, really tiny habits, and that can everyone implement, is just catching that inner money talk. And when you spend it, right, people have resistance to giving away their money. And every time that you go, it's like, oh,
True.
this is great, I'm going to give my money away. Because what people also forget is that you get that money back every month or every week or however often you get paid. So it's always going to come back to you. And it is that gives that
Whoa,
healthy
that's a
flow.
secret you just shared, Anete. That's a secret you just shared.
Um,
Wow.
I think that will be quite good. Yeah, just spend it with love, especially if you know you'll need to, pay your bills anyway. Just be like, oh, I can afford this. I know for taxes, people are like, oh, I don't want to pay my taxes. If you pay taxes, it means you earn enough money to pay taxes. Some people even don't earn that. And it is just kind of cultivating that happy feeling around money. Because money is energy. And I do operate from that sense of energy. And so if you think of money as happy, then you're more likely to invite that happy money in your life as well, and increase that flow. I know it might sound a little bit out there, but it's true. And I'm just going to give it a more down to earth example so people understand. When you are concerned about money, and let's say you're a business owner, so I'll give a specific example as business owner, you're like, I'm never going to make enough money, to do it full time or go on holidays or things like that. What happens? Your brain actually shuts down and it stops looking for the possibilities of how you could create that.
Oh,
So
wow.
our thoughts impact the way we act, what we do, what we see. So when you change that into opposite, oh, I can make more than enough money, your mind then starts looking out for possibilities how you can achieve that.
Oh, wow.
You as a
Wow.
mindset fixer, you'll know in any other areas of life, when people open up to that possibility, things happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you are here breaking, you're blowing my mind away because you just said something which, which I hold dear. You said that if you think that, oh, if someone thinks that I can't make enough money, the brain and the mind literally shuts down. It's a principle, like it's the principle of the mind. So it's like every of our actions starts from the mind. Now, our money, every of our results of our money starts from the mind. So does it mean that if we don't have enough, it is because we are not thinking enough in our minds. Do you understand me? Like, okay, maybe we don't have
Yes.
enough now, and maybe in our minds we just keep saying that, okay, this is just enough. This is just fine. This is just fine. This is
Yeah.
just it's I can just manage it. Does it mean that the word manage starts from the mind? Also, the word abundance with money starts from the mind.
So it's a tricky question because there isn't a right answer for everyone. So if you operate from
Okay.
just enough money, it can be various reasons for that. And I'm going to list them. One, it
Okay.
could be possibility you wouldn't feel safe enough to have more money. And this belief could stem from perhaps what I call a money trauma. So maybe there was one point in life you had all this money and then something happened, like you went through a divorce, um, your house needed repairs, your car broke down. This wouldn't apply to everyone, but it is kind of possibility that could affect you. Another thing is it could be what I touched upon earlier is that learned belief. That all you've seen is your family is just operating from just enough money, and be basically, well, that's why I've visited all my life, and it's very, very difficult for you to break that cycle. It's not impossible, but there is some certain challenges. So these are just kind of possibilities. It is really, really, really individual to each and one person. What is the reason why they're operating from that? So, one other thing, the last thing is you might not feel you're good enough to have more than enough money. So at the start, you mentioned that I'm a EFT practitioner, which is an emotional freedom technique. And when I use my clients, that's when it helps us to kind of discover why there is that lack of money. And what I'd like you to do is write a number. So this is a really good exercise if you want to find out why you're operating from that, whatever space it is, not enough or just enough. Write a number on a paper that you're actually earning and look at it and really contemplate it and think about it. What does it say about me? And there might be some really not nice things you're going to say about yourself, that you're a failure. that you're not good enough, like really, really like horrible talk, like that you wouldn't really think to say to others, but we feel it about ourselves. And that exercise there can really help to uncover why you're operating from that uh, space of not enoughness. Um, but what I'd like to invite you to do is just ask yourself a question once you've kind of went through that is, what if it's not true? And that's and just
Wow.
think about it, like what if it's not true, and let your mind to think that, oh, maybe I'm not a failure. And your mind might remember all the things that you succeeded at, because our minds have the unconscious thing to actually focus more on the negatives than the positives. It's just the way we are wired. Um, but we are evolved so much that we can still influence the way we think, kind of guide our thoughts to more positive. So that's very important to remember too.
Wow. I love it. Like, this is so amazing. I'm adjusting on my seat because you are breaking tables and you are constructing new ones. So now you are in sorry, money mindset coach. How do we increase our energy towards money? How do we increase our vibe, so to say, towards money? Because I know
Yeah.
that what we desire also desires us, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
money we desire also desires us. Now, how do we increase our energy, so to say? Because it's like, how do I put it? It's like money resonates, or how do I put it? Okay, don't let me go to that area. But then how do we increase the money energy that we have?
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you said what we desire desires us. That is really, really true. And perhaps the first thing that you could come to a realization is that, oh, if I want more money, it means it's already mine. I just need to let it in the life. So when you don't have that barrier that you need to do all these crazy things to get it and be like, oh, it's already mine, and I just need to let it in, it will come easier. Um, in regards to cultivating money, you can visualize. Visualization is, I think, very, very common use, the way you'd like your
Wow.
life to see. Oh, excuse me. I think people who are familiar with law of attraction, that's probably one of the first things that they say is you visualize the way you want your life to be, and it does work. Another thing could be mantras or affirmations, money affirmations. So um, I like to combine them actually with tapping. So what you can do, so the tapping is the energy tool that I use. So um, we not only like would change, the thought pattern and increase our energies, but with the tapping we can actually kind of help that a little bit, and clear any blockages that we might have. Um, like, I'm not going to go into great detail, but what I would say is just we have a thymus point there just on our heart, and if you that's literally what you do, is just slightly tap on there, and it just helps you to relax and connect with your heart
Mm.
center, and just pick a money mantra. So if there is that, oh, I don't have enough money, or we're not operating from that enoughness, it could be something like, I'm choosing to have enough money. I'm choosing to invite more money in my life. I'm choosing to have more than enough money. And that choice, that word, can be really powerful, because if we were to say, oh, I have enough money, there might be some inner resistance going, that's lies. Like, you're telling lies. So when you say, I'm
Wow.
choosing to have more than enough money, I'm choosing to receive more money now, it's true. And at the same time, it doesn't create that resistance inside us. And I know it can be difficult, when we're going through something. It is challenging, but it's not impossible. And the more you do that, the more you practice, the easier it gets.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so this is actually exciting and enlightening. Now, speaking about the money mantra,
Yes.
are we supposed to recite this on a daily basis, or is it meant to be consistent, or is it maybe a monthly thing, or is it just maybe when we say it get registered in the mind, and how often would you say we should recite this money mantra?
Um, I, I can tell you that, by reciting it 5 times a day for
Okay.
next 3 months, right, you're going to become suddenly a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. We are all our own journey. But, and so there isn't really a right or wrong way to recite these mantras. But what I would suggest is to do them in the morning, because it sets you up for the day. Because you go already in that
Mm.
that mindset and that feeling
Mm.
of feeling good about things. So when something does potentially happen, it will be easier for you to go back into that sense of calmness and that happiness. When you are getting ready, a lot of people tend to be like, I don't have time for this. Do it while you're doing something, while you're getting dressed, while you're putting dishes away, while you're, putting laundry away.
Wow. Wow. So
um
there's definitely no excuse for I don't have the time to recite
that's right.
this money mantra.
That's right, yes.
Mm.
Before sleep too,
Wow.
because so, and if you're like, I really, really don't have time, get a tape with some affirmations and go to sleep with them. Because when we are falling asleep, our mind goes into a very relaxed state, and it does become a bit more receptive to those kind of suggestions. I'm sure there's probably loads of YouTube as well, or you can record your own. As I say, there isn't there isn't really excuse, but
Oh
it
my.
would be really try and practice it as often as you can, and as often it feels good. It's about feeling good. So if it feels like a chore, don't do it.
Mm. I love it. You know,
Thank you.
there, there is something about coding your own money mantra, well, maybe to me personally, because hearing your voice and listening to those words has something to do. Should I say, it reorganizes the mind, because you know that it becomes so personal to you, such that you become
Yeah.
one with that mantra. You become one with that affirmation. Yeah, you might go to YouTube, you might listen to other. It sort of makes it. It sort of make you. It sort of makes you um with the mantra. Now, speaking of money, I would love us to stay back. I've researched. I've asked questions. Successful people tend to have money routines, right? So now, bringing this to our finances, right? How can we maximize money routine with our finances? How can money routine be of importance? How can money routine be essential to our finances? Do you understand where I'm coming from?
What do you mean by money routine?
Oh, okay. Morning routine, not money. Morning, like waking up early in the morning routine. Morning, they take a cup of coffee, go jogging
Oh,
and
morning.
everything, routine for them.
Yes.
Somebody, yeah. So now, is there a correlation between having a morning routine and our finances? Is there a correlation? Is there Are they exclusively mutual? Do you understand? How can we maximize both to increase the should I
I
say
do,
to increase
yes.
our thoughts basically about money? Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna base this off of someone else. I don't know if you've heard of Brendan Bouchard. He's a high performance coach. He actually came up with that whole thing, and he done studies. I want to say 200, maybe more individuals, and who he basically called them high performers, meaning that they continuously outperformed everyone. So they continuously had, like, good months and everything else. And the common trait among those high performers was not only they had money, they also had good relationships, they had good health.
Wow.
Every aspect of their lives was, in a good state. And true, we are all interlinked. Your health can affect your money and vice versa. Your relationships can affect money and vice versa. And same the way you see yourself can affect money. And
True.
one of the things that he also suggests is about having that morning routine and journaling. Um, I don't journal in the mornings. I prefer doing yoga with like a meditation. So it is really each to individual, if that makes sense. But for me, that yoga sets me up energetically and physically as well, because I just love exercising.
Wow.
Um, but routine, yes, it can, because routine can also give you the sense of being grounded. And if those who are familiar with the chakra system, this root chakra, which is like from your hips down, your legs, um, literally describes like the root chakra, and that's also like your money chakra. So if you feel grounded and safe, you are attuning with that same kind of vibrational energies, if that makes sense.
Wow. Whoa. Awesome. I love it. I love it. And I have a last question here before
Of course.
I okay, before I go to the last question, do you have anything to say about money? Like, do you have just something apart from the questions that I have here? So you can just
Um, I think I just kind of felt being like kind of intuitive push just to say that money is a journey. Um, we can often be like overlook um other things that we do just to get for the sake of money. So it is important to look after yourself, your relationships, your health, rather than just push yourself just to work for money, work for money, work for money, work for money. Money is great, yes, this is what I'm here for, but achieving money is not going to give you a sense of accomplishment and a sense of purpose and a sense of safety, because very oftentimes we're like, oh, I can't do things because I don't have money. Your
true.
beliefs come before circumstances, not vice versa. Circumstances don't create circumstances, beliefs create your circumstances. So if you are on a journey to improving your life, and money will be a huge part of that, it's just to be mindful that what I am here for, what can I be of service for? I hope that kind of helps.
Oh my God, Annette! Like, whoa, this is just like a change of this is just like a change of perspective. So instead of thinking of making money and everything, there should be a change of mindset that okay, how can I be of service to humanity? Right?
Yeah,
So does that mean that it is kind of linked to our purpose, our sense of purpose?
that's what I associate it with, yes. I mean, you can
Wow.
easily create money through hard work. People do achieve that, but what happens when they do? They burn out. They get tired. They get sick. Because going back to the first concept, that money is energy. So you need to create that flow. You can't just take. You also need to give something back. So it creates that going roundness, if you will. So you and I, we exchange our knowledge and our services in exchange for money. So it would also actually be wrong for us to just give away all the stuff for free, because all we do is just give, and that would leave us depleted. Money, that's all it is just an exchange of energy, because instead of giving us bread or money, we have decided that we're going to have used money as our currency for getting and giving and receiving things.
Whoa. So if I get what you say now, it means that it's like a cycle, like a network.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah. It is, yes.
Oh,
We
wow.
are connected with each other, and money as well is kind of part of that, because we do overlook. We very, very overlook, because of the world that we do live in. As I say, the money is also that sense of safety that gives us the home and the clothes and the food and things like that. But it's just that we just live in a society where we can't provide for ourselves. We don't make clothes for ourselves or make food, grow crops and things and so forth. So yes, it is that healthy flow of energy just to keep it going.
Wow, this is so phenomenal. Like, I love it. You're so, and you're super
Thank you.
intelligent, and you know your onions about money. Like, you know this thing. How do I put it? You know it. You. In my country, they would. There's a language called pidgin. They would say, "You sabi ham." You know it. You know this
Thank
thing,
you.
and really, it's. I'm so like this is. It's so enlightening because I don't know, but most times we tend not to see money as a cycle. We tend not to see it as a give and take relationship. Rather, we just want to make money, continue making money, even without service to humanity, service to the community, or the, should I say, the global community we find ourselves in. And it's so good to realize and to know and to be aware that money is an energy and it is a cycle, it is a network. So good. So good. So the next question I have here is about financial freedom. How
Yes.
do we achieve that?
Yeah.
Speaking of financial freedom, yeah, and what exactly is financial freedom?
Um, it's wonderful that you asked that, because that's actually one of my coaching programs that I have. One of the aims is
Wow.
to kind of give people that financial freedom and give them the tools so they can achieve that. So I'm glad that you brought it up. The very first thing, what you need to do is to find what is financial freedom for you. And that is actually by getting down to earth and looking at all your expenses and just getting a list out so you have a number. And that will give you kind of baseline what you actually need to have. And it is just really being honest about all the things you spend money on. And then the next step
Wow.
from that would be, how would you want to live your life? Like, if you'd lived in a house you lived in, how much the rent would be, how much would the council tax, I don't know if you have something similar there, how much your bills would be, how much would you spend in a shopping, how much would you spend on holidays. So once you have that figure, how much you would be spent if you lived in the life that you wanted, you then have a figure which essentially defines what your financial freedom is. What we need to remember, though, that figure is relevant to us at the time when we write it. So as your income grows, your consciousness grows, that number would also change. But to begin with, you will have that number. And see, when you have it, you might notice some ideas flowing through how you can achieve that. And for us as coaches and things like that, I like any healers or astrologers, very often we come up with kind of block as how much we should charge for our services. So when we have a figure in front of us and knowing how much hours we can spend working will help us to decide how much to charge for. So there is like a multi-layered step of how you can achieve that financial freedom. But the very, very first thing is about define what it is for you. What does it look like for you right now? And how much would actually, like in monetary terms, cost you? And from that point, then you can start thinking, right, how can I achieve that? How can I get that? What can I do? What can I offer? And so on and so forth. So it is not just about, you know, visual thinking and visualizing and just bringing it forth. It's also about taking tangible steps towards. So yes, so tangible steps is really, really important. But when you're in that happy place of excitement, we're like, oh, I'm excited about making money. Those tangible steps will come automatically to you. You will want to do something, you'll get excited and you'll be like, yes, this is gonna happen now. And you're gonna go out there and make it happen.
Wow. Wow. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. So before you just blowing my mind away, and I love it. So speaking of, you said, you mentioned something about what do I have to offer. So do you mean that after answering all those should I say assessment questions or evaluation questions, so to say, when we know what we can offer, does it mean that we can monetize that thing that we think we can offer?
Yeah.
Does that mean that we oh, amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
So good.
and there isn't a right or wrong answer here either. So for example, my partner, he sells blinds, right? That's his service. Do you know what I mean? What I know it might come, oh, it's just blinds, but what he's offering a sense of, you know, security, that privacy by having the blinds. So, and that's his way of service. He goes, measures and gets it delivered. My service is to, you know, blow your mind when it comes to money and actually help you get there financially where you want to be. I mean, we have lawyers, we have people who provide food and things like that. And yeah, it's just see what comes up for you. You might change what you want to do to achieve that financial freedom, and that's absolutely fine. I mean, I went like changed my mind, but what I'm gonna offer 5 times probably. So,
Whoa.
but it's not just don't give up. It's just about continue going to that movement and see what feels right to you. We very oftentimes see people who create these successful businesses and they realize it's not what's aligned with themselves, and then they start all over again. So as I say, money is a journey, and I think it can, and that brings in nicely back to the first question on money, how money can be spiritual. Sometimes by going to for money can help put us on a kind of self-discovery path, right? What can I do? What can I be of service for in exchange for that money?
Wow. I love it.
So
I love it. I love it. Wow. Okay, so lastly, wow. I don't know. I'm just so enlightened. This is so much light and so much illumination. Thank you, Annette. Thank you
you're
so much.
welcome.
So now, lastly,
That's fine.
um, so does that mean that our you mentioned something that it's not the same, so it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. Our
Yeah.
money, our financial freedom goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean that there is nothing called comparison in this journey? You said money is a journey, right? So that is nothing called comparison. Maybe I have a twin sister or have a friend, say, or have a clique of friends. That means something called comparison in our financial.
That's right. That's right. Um,
Wow,
I would never
amazing.
ever compare yourself with anyone else, because when you start comparing to what other people have, and you would think, oh, I don't have that, you're gonna go back in that rabbit hole. Oh, I don't have money, and you just go start shutting down. Better question to ask is how I was yesterday. I am better today than I was yesterday. I am better now than an hour before I watched this. and
Wow,
and that will actually give you that encouragement to be like, yeah, look how much I have done. I actually, on every full moon, I like to sit down and kind of have a look what has happened in the past month and see where I have come. And that really offers that reflection of really what you've achieved, because when we start going in that cycle, we very often overlook all the little steps, and how all those little steps how far they have taken us.
wow, wow. This is really great. Thank you so much, Anete.
You're
It has
welcome.
been wow. It has been one hard discussing this value packed discussion about money. I feel like I'm still going to invite you to go more in depth on this issue of money, because this issue is because this issue is something that should I say that battles with the human mind. It's not
Yeah,
location based, like I said earlier, not just maybe in one country or the other. It's a general thing. It's battles with the human mind. And most people, when they don't have money, they tend to swing into depression. They tend to swing
yeah,
into comparison, which leads to depression, so to say, which now leads to different thoughts, different evil thoughts. Now, before I release you, I would love you to answer this question. At that point where it feels like we don't have money, either cash or either in bank, what is that thing that we can do to bring ourselves out of that pit of depression or out of that pit of feeling not enough? Because some people tend to feel like, oh, they are not enough when they don't have any money. You would agree
yeah.
with me. So now, how do we get out of that pit of that, should I say, maybe depression or low self-esteem that comes when it feels like there is no money at all, like there is no
Yeah.
money at all? And maybe this person has a whole lot inside him or her. He has knowledge, he can maybe knowledge he can monetize or something. All right. let me
Yeah.
let me speak for you.
Um, so I think it's important to actually see someone. I'm not standing here and telling you all this without actually having had mentors and teachers of my own, or having
True.
read books. I think it's really, really important. And I know if you don't have that money, you might like, oh well, I can't invest. And so there are books, and there are plenty of books out there, who which cover things of money. Um, First one that come to mind is You Were Born Rich. Um, oh, his name dropped out of my mind. It'll come back to me. But and that book was written in the 80s. I know Napoleon Hill as well, Think and Grow Rich. So there's plenty of resources out there. Apart from actually seeing some help from outside, um, there is that acknowledgement. Just acknowledge how you're feeling. You don't want to suppress that. I use emotional freedom technique, um, which we don't have time to go in, showing, and it like it's not like I can show in 5 minutes anyway. But another thing is journaling, and just write it all out. Just write it out, and do you know what? Take that piece of paper and go and burn it somewhere, right? And get that energies out there. and then you can kind of write, and that's the question I mentioned earlier, I'd be like, what if it's not true? What if it's past me? Because really your current circumstances that you have within money is created by your old you. So at any given point right now, you have a chance to change and evolve and be like, right, I am no longer that person. I'm choosing no longer to be that. I'm choosing to be somewhere else. So there is that kind of transition and that understanding that there's going to be a time where your consciousness is above that. I don't have enough money, and you'll be like, I have more than enough money. But your reality is just trying to catch up with you. And it's about not losing hope, staying hopeful and being open, and just continue doing it and be like, this is going to come. This is coming. It's coming. And it is that mantras. Do you know, it might be even as simple as going out for a walk or for a run, like a physical, you know, getting you away from that, getting yourself distracted. Anything that feels right for you that moment. Just to get yourself shaking out, moving out from that stuck vibration. Because even when it comes to depression, which is sadly very common, especially with having had COVID and everything that we're dealing with now, even everyone says go out for a walk, and that is that getting yourself moving. Just something that feels right for you. So it doesn't necessarily be a money related exercise. It can be anything, you know, maybe go see your friends, go watch a comedy, anything that creates you sense of feeling better emotions. And then you can look at that money again, right? Okay, maybe I can feel better about money.
Wow. I love it. I love it. This is so great. Thank you so much, Anete. Thank you
You're
so,
welcome.
so very much. It's so nice hosting you on this platform. And I hope when I invite you again, you definitely
I'll be
say
up for
yes.
it.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you would love to say before you say goodnight to the audience? Is there
Just
any
thank you.
parting words? Any
Just thank you for everyone really
or
listening. I hope you could understand my accent because I am in Scotland. And I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to like leave comments and things like that. And if I am joining back again, then I can kind of pick up from that. What is perhaps did you like to see next time? If you know whatever. But yes, no,
all
honestly,
right.
thank you so much for inviting me in your space. You know, you clearly wanted to see me, so here I am. I showed up for you. So thank you, truly.
Oh my. Thank you so much, Anete. And we understand your accent perfectly. Please, we are not beings, we are global. We're global. Thank you so much. It was really nice having you. And I love your sense of humor. Wow, that's that's on an 100. I love your sense of
Thank you.
humor. Thank you so much. Seriously, tonight just valued, and thank you so much. I can only say thank you because, and thank you for shining your light, because I might not
Thank
have
you.
met you if you have not been shining your light, and if you've not started, blessing your world, so to say. Thank you so much, Anete, and I see all you do. Thank you for raising the bar. Thank you, standard. Keep it up. I
Yeah. No,
celebrate
thank you.
you. I celebrate you.
Yeah.
I celebrate you. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. I hope you had one or two things to learn. So if you have questions, please do well to drop it in the comment section. And if you can send me an email, themindsetfixer@gmail.com. If you have questions, suggestions, contributions, or you want to add one or two things to what she said, you can just send me an email, themindsetfixer@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Instagram at the Mindset Fixer, at the Mindset Fixer, or you can send me a message on Facebook, Tejumaje Soluremi. I hope this session was value packed for you. I would love to read from you in the comment section. How was it for you? How was this 1 hour, 10 minutes for you? Please let me read from you in the comment section. How was it for you? Was it what you expected? Was it value packed for you? Did you learn anything? And what was the light bulb moment for you from Anette's session? I would love to read from you in the comment section. What was the light bulb moment? What was outstanding for you? What was outstanding for you? She said a whole lot of things about money. And there was something she said basically that, which really touched me. And she said something like, money is not something we just run after, run after, run after. You must have something of value, right? Money is an energy and it is a cycle. It is a network. That means yourself must be a value. You must give value. It's not about getting and getting and getting. Now, I would ask you tonight, what value are you giving? You don't need to be on the stage to give value. Right where you are, you can give value. In your family, you can give value. In your friends, in wherever you find yourself, you should be valuable, right? You should be a valuable person. You should be a person of value. And whatsoever results you're seeing in your money right now, you should have a board meeting with yourself. What is it about your mindset about money? What are your thoughts about money? What have you been thinking about money? What are the misconceptions? What are the myths that you grew up having about money? Some people grew up with having this notion of money are not grown on trees. It builds a scarcity mindset of money in such person. You now have to intentionally uproot that thought and think about abundance, abundance, and abundance all the way. So you can just drop me a message, drop your comments on the email, themindsetvita@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. Please do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel because there'll be a lot of valuable content coming in from time to time. Thank you so much. My name is Tejumaje Soluremi, the Mindset. Thank you. Do have a great night.